Witam Was serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku, wciąż z mieszkania mojej cioci, ponieważ wciąż przechodzę kwarantannę po powrocie ze Stanów. Dzisiejszy odcinek, lekko nietypowy, był pomysłem, sugestią Macieja Olczyka, jednego z moich patronów na Patronite, w ramach nagrody, która przysługiwała mu na progu 50 zł. Maciek napisał do mnie, mówiąc, że oprócz mnie ogląda oraz wspiera również amerykańską piosenkarkę i youtuberkę o imieniu Anne Reborn i chciałby, żebym zrobił jakiś filmik we współpracy z nią. Od prawie 4 lat Anne tworzy covery piosenek na YouTube i w tym momencie jej kanał ma już prawie 300 000 subskrypcji, a jej najbardziej popularne filmy osiągają po kilka milionów wyświetleń.
Bum, 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 for the longest time. Does he love me? I wanna know. Are we my wet, are we my wet, are we my wet? But you didn't have to cut me off.
Oprócz tego niedawno wydała swój pierwszy oryginalny album oraz swój pierwszy profesjonalnie zrealizowany teledysk.
I gave you space and time and you gave me nothing. Happy fucking birthday.
Dlatego właśnie stwierdziłem, że będzie ona idealną osobą do rozmowy o tym, czy YouTube może być w ogóle karierą, czy YouTube może pomóc Ci wystartować swoją karierę, czy też YouTube po prostu zawsze będzie zwykłym hobby. Tak więc jeśli jesteś początkującym YouTuberem albo zastanawiasz się, czy założenie kanału na YouTubie to dobry sposób na start Twojej kariery, to jestem pewien, że w tym wywiadzie znajdziesz bardzo dużo przydatnych informacji. Okej, a więc zadzwońmy do Anne. So, hello Anne. How are you?
Hi, great. How are you?
Pretty good. What time is it now in LA?
It is 2:10 p.m.
All right, it's 11 p.m. right here, so it was actually pretty challenging to get the right, timing of doing this interview. All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself, like who are you in general?
Yeah, sure. So for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm a musician and a YouTuber. My YouTube channel is mostly music. There's some original music, but there's a lot of covers too. And my main thing is that I do covers where I sing all the parts and I play all the instruments.
Mm-hmm. How did you come up with the idea for the channel? Was it something just to, record yourself and show yourself to the audience? Or was it like an actual idea of pursuing your career and like using this as a tool to get your audience?
That's a good question. I had no idea where it was going to go. And at the time of uploading my first video, I was really not intending to even start a YouTube channel. And in the first 2 videos I had uploaded, I didn't even have this idea of like making the multiple parts with all the split screens and playing the instruments. At that point I had only a camera, no tripod, no lights, none of my musical instruments because I was living in Spain at the time, so all I could do was record with the camera audio to a backing track, basically. I believe those first 2 videos were backing tracks that I had found for free online. And then the third one I think was a cappella, so it didn't need anything. So it really started out pretty amateur.
Mm-hmm. So from what I saw, the 4th video that you uploaded is actually your most popular one. It has like 7 million views, over 7 million views. So what happened? How did it become so famous? How did it become viral, or did it get just views, throughout the years? And also, secondly, was it like a kind of a breakthrough? Like, did you saw this video go viral and thought, you can go more into that?
It's a good question. I have no idea how it happened, really. At that point in the channel, I was happy to get like 2,000 views per video. And I remember sitting in the kitchen looking at YouTube after uploading Mr. Sandman, being like, looking at the views and saying, oh, I hope that this gets to 2,000. Like, I remember seeing it there. And I think it was kind of a a little bit of a slower burn. I know that almost right off the bat, that video for some reason got picked up by the YouTube algorithm and it started getting recommended to a lot of people. So that was bringing a lot of people to my channel. And then I think it was, I'm probably gonna mess up the dates here. So the video is coming up on 4 years old, I think. It was published in 2016. And I think for the first 2 years, probably winter 2018 or maybe spring 2019 was when it hit 1 million. And then after the first million, it just accelerated out of control. And it was one of the first videos I ever did, and it's not that high quality, but for some reason, I don't know, people and the algorithm really love that one.
Yeah, like making my channel, I noticed that like you can never predict what will go viral. Like you sometimes have videos and you think, oh, maybe this one will be good, and then this one ends up being the worst one, and then something that you don't expect at all just goes viral. And in my case, it was never like right after uploading. It's always like half a year later, when you already forgot about this video, suddenly someone, I don't know, either algorithm or something picks it up. And
yeah, I've noticed the same thing too.
Okay, so I wanted to know more about you moving to LA basically. How was it to move from a small town like Bartlesville to a place like LA, and why did you do that?
Well, I lived in Bartlesville for probably 16 years. I think I lived in Oklahoma for about 18 years because I also went to college in Oklahoma, although not in my hometown. It was about 3 hours away. And in between Oklahoma and moving to LA, I moved to Spain for a year. So that was another really big change. Definitely the opportunity for a lot of culture shock there. And so I think that the move to LA was not as daunting because of that. Because I had already gone to something really, really different and liked it a lot. And it happened because my visa expired in Spain and I couldn't find a job to work legally. And I said, well, it's time to make a change, I guess, and I decided to move to LA. In Oklahoma, there is a small music scene, but nowhere near what there is in LA, and there are opportunities here that I've already had just in the short time that I've lived here that I know that I wouldn't have gotten in my hometown or even in Tulsa or Oklahoma City. So for what I decided I wanted to do, because at that point I had like a fledgling YouTube channel, and I decided I was going to try to do music or something creative, that LA, New York, or Nashville were pretty much my three options.
So would you say that it would be easier to like start a musical career and maybe get more live performances in a place like Oklahoma than here in LA?
Definitely, yeah. I think that unless you're from LA, moving to LA is a big step, and it's expensive. It's really expensive. So I would definitely recommend having as much savings as you possibly can. Like, save up as much as you can that you think you'll need, and then save like double that. and also, if you want to go to LA for music, I would say have experience and have like some sort of base before you move. That would be my advice.
Okay. So speaking of finances, you said that you have a job also outside of your channel, right? Would you say what is it?
Yeah, I work as an audiovisual tech. It's a part-time job with an irregular schedule, and right now in quarantine that means working from home, and it's being tech support for interviews, panel discussions, and classes that are held on Zoom or Google Meet, and also editing videos for them.
Okay, cool. So would you say that singing and what you do on your channel, this is your main career path, or more what you do for your job?
I would say, and I would hope that music is the main thing. I do refer to the AV Tech job as my real job because for all of the other stuff, I'm self-employed, freelance. So that makes taxes not so fun.
But on your YouTube channel, you also have your Patreon site, and that probably helps you a lot. How much does it really actually help you? How much of a help it is for pursuing your career?
Patreon is everything. Patreon, if it weren't for Patreon, I would have to have a full-time job. Because the nature of monetization on YouTube, which I'm sure you already know this, but maybe the people who are watching don't, is that if you get a video longer than 10 minutes, you can put more ads on it. You can put those ad breaks in the middle that interrupt the video. This would be the perfect opportunity to just put one right in the middle of what I'm talking. No, but obviously a song is not going to be that long, and you don't want to put an ad in the middle of a song anyway. That ruins it. And also, I do covers which are copyrighted material. So what usually happens is that the system automatically detects the use of a copyrighted song, and it automatically starts revenue sharing with the original publisher. So that means out of the 45% of the money that I would normally see, that gets cut again, and I only get a small percentage of that, as a lot of it goes toward the original artist of the song. But it does make it pretty much impossible with the amount of work that I put into the videos, with how frequently I'm able to upload them, and with all of that monetization stuff. I cannot make enough money to pay rent from YouTube ads, which is why I need Patreon and I need these other sources. And at this point, about 4-ish years into having a channel, I think I'm finally to the point where I don't really need that real job financially. But I'm still keeping it for now, because it fits in my schedule okay, and because it's nice to just have that safety net to fall back on in case something ever happens to my channel, something happens to Patreon, like what if 1 month for some reason PayPal doesn't let me withdraw? So there are kind of these fears that I have. And it's scary to be just working for yourself and depending on other people for your income.
Yeah, definitely. I love Patreon. I also have Patreon, but that's like a Polish version of Patreon, because obviously I have Polish viewers, and Patreon doesn't work with different currencies, or at least it doesn't work with the Polish one, which is a little bit surprising to me. But it still helps me a lot too, especially that on my channel also AdSense isn't really giving me almost anything, because also I guess it goes through Polish YouTube, and that somehow really pays almost nothing. But so yeah, Patreon basically, especially for you, it's like the first step of making your hobby your job, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Would you say now that your YouTube channel is more of a hobby or a career?
I would say usually when I introduce myself to someone who doesn't know me, first I say I'm a musician. And really my goal is to be a musician who does YouTube videos and not a YouTuber who does music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think being huge, like 1 million subscribers on YouTube, that's not my ultimate goal, but I think it is a tool to help me get to where I want to go, which is being regarded more as an independent artist with more original music released, and a bigger following, bigger numbers on Spotify and Apple Music and other streaming sites. But that's also not to say that I have anything against YouTube. I'm not planning on stopping YouTube anytime soon because I recognize that's my whole platform. I mean, that's the whole reason that I have an audience for my original music to go to.
Okay. Also, I was wondering, because for me, sometimes, especially now when I started college, I started going into filmmaking, and I noticed that I get less and less time for making YouTube videos. And I had this point, I had many times those thoughts that if it wasn't for the money from Patreon, I probably wouldn't be continuing my YouTube channel. Have you ever had something like that?
I know what you're saying. I have felt something similar in that maybe if I don't feel like I have time for something, Patreon makes me push myself to do it, because I know that there are people paying for my work, and it goes beyond just me feeling lazy or me feeling burnt out or not feeling like I have time. It's like, I don't want to disappoint these people. Like, these people are giving me their money. I have to do something for them. So yeah, not that the money is the only thing keeping me going, though. It's more of just like, now it makes me care about the audience more, because they're not just clicking on a YouTube video, they're like taking out of their wallet for me.
Mm-hmm. So recently you made your first album, and you also, from what I saw, made a first like a professional music video. And so how was it financed from Patreon? Was it made because of thanks to Patreon? And how did you manage to do it? Because like making your first album is a big step toward becoming a professional musician. So how did you achieve that, and how YouTube and Patreon helped you with it?
Making the EP and the music video was a really long process. It took way longer than I thought it was going to. So the songs being written happened quite a while ago. It just took a long time for them to finally be available to the world. It was a combination of the money from Patreon and also working with friends and relatively new people that were not charging a lot of money. So I had to be smart about that, but the music video was entirely from Patreon. I just took basically like a month and a half of what I made from Patreon, and I was like, this is your budget for the music video, what can you do with this much money? Mm-hmm. And that was it.
That's great. Do you perform live?
I did before the quarantine started, and now who knows when that's gonna start again. But yeah, I don't play super often live. The unfortunate thing is that there is only one of me in real life. So the stuff that you see on YouTube, it's so much about the editing that I really can't reproduce that in a live show. So when I perform live, it's always my original music, which I think fewer people know about, maybe fewer people are fans of it, but I do hope to be growing that part of my career in the future. I love performing live, even though it makes me super nervous, but I love it. I would love to do more of it too.
Mm-hmm. Well, YouTube is like, the main thing about YouTube is getting audience. So does the audience from your channel actually comes to your live performances? Have you ever met any of your YouTube fans?
Some of them have, yeah, and it's been really cool. Like I had a show in Oklahoma, and I had people come in from Arkansas, Texas, and Washington to see me there. And then there are a couple in the surrounding areas of LA too that have come out from when I've played shows here.
Have you ever, because of your channel, met people who then you started collaborating with?
Yeah, so this producer that I'm actually working with right now on my second EP of original songs is someone that I met through someone who saw my videos on YouTube. There have been some really crazy things that have happened because certain people have seen my videos, and it always just makes me sit back and go, wow, you never really know who's gonna watch what you put out.
So another thing that I wanted to talk about is that you speak Spanish, and you speak it fluently. And honestly, when I first came to your channel, I was almost sure that you're a Hispanic person who came to America. So why? Why did you decide to learn Spanish?
So I was born in the US, I am American, I'm not Hispanic or Latina, and nobody else in my family speaks Spanish. Just to clear that up, I learned Spanish as an adult, and that's, I think, what's so weird about it. So I started learning Spanish really in high school. I took a couple classes, but as anyone who has probably taken a foreign language in high school would tell you, like, you don't really learn anything.
I took Spanish, yes, I took Spanish back in Oklahoma. I really want to learn Spanish, but it's just time. You have to spend a lot of time just being really focused just on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm guessing that English is not your first language, right?
It isn't, no.
Yeah, so you already got one.
That's true, but it's a little different, you know. English is like, they teach you from the kindergarten, you always have English around you. With Spanish, it's just, you know, it's just different. You have to actually sit and on your own go and learn this language.
I wish that they would do that in the United States, but we have, I guess, the privilege and the misfortune of being born where English is the language, so we aren't forced to learn it as a foreign language, but then so many people only speak English, and I think it's a shame.
So I noticed that you obviously use a lot of Spanish in your channel. So did you start doing it when you noticed that you have some Hispanic people watching you, or was it the opposite? Did you start speaking Spanish in your videos and that brought a Hispanic audience to you?
My channel started when I was living in Spain. So I think that had something to do maybe with the audience that the videos were pushed to. And I started the channel as I was at the tail end of a relationship with a Spanish YouTuber. So when I put those first videos out, my channel was on his list of recommended channels. And as his channel was in Spanish, all of his audience was Spanish speaking, so when they clicked on my channel and they saw, you know, songs in English, but it was almost a completely Spanish speaking audience. And it gradually changed. At first the US was not even in my top 10 countries, and then after I moved back to the United States, it started to climb, and now it's my biggest percentage of my audience is from the US. But definitely, I was always looking at those audience analytics and seeing where the majority of them are from. So while I was in Spain especially, I was speaking more Spanish in the videos and doing more videos in Spanish. And then as I got back to the US, I really wanted to see more representation from my own country, and I wanted to speak in English more because it's easier and more comfortable for me. So I started to change that. But I have never wanted to completely get rid of the Spanish because I do really enjoy speaking it, and I think it's an interesting, weird thing about me that I do speak Spanish.
Okay, so what do you think draws people to your channel? What do you think makes them come and watch your videos?
I think the unfortunate thing for someone whose content is music is that the visual is what draws people. Like, all they see is the title of the song and the thumbnail at first. And then maybe after watching one or two videos, they kind of understand what it is that I do, and they'll choose whether or not to watch a video based on whether or not they want to hear that particular song done in my style. But I guess it's my face. I don't know.
But it's also, you know, as soon as you watch one of your videos, they become addictive because they're covers. And I think because, you know, you watch a video like this, you like the way you do it, and then you're like, oh, I know this song. Let me see how she did this song. Let me see how she did this song. So that's the thing with covers, that they become really addictive as once you start watching them.
I'm happy to hear that. I hope that they have a lot of rewatch value as well. Like, you're way more likely to go back and listen to a song that you like than you are to, you know, watch a vlog 2 times.
So, would you say that you adjust the topics of your videos to what people want to see, or do you make more things that you personally want to do? Because in my experience, I have the videos that I want to make, but then there are the videos that I know people will watch and I know will get views, and I'm always turned between them.
Do you mean more with my choosing songs for covers or with the vlog type stuff?
Probably yes, because covers are the ones that get the most views on your channel.
Yeah. I do read all of the comments and I take notes of people's suggestions. I have a massive list both of songs that people have suggested to me and songs that I feel like doing. But sometimes I'll see a song suggested that I already knew and liked but hadn't thought of yet, and I'll say, oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that because it's something I want to do. But that's the core of it, is that it has to be a song that I want to do, because if not, so much work goes into them, and if I'm not gonna enjoy doing it, why should I do it? Like, it's YouTube, it's not that serious. They're like fun cover videos, so I want to enjoy myself, and I wouldn't still be doing them if I didn't have fun doing it.
Do you think that YouTube career is more fragile than a music career? Meaning that for how long can you keep going before people actually lose interest in you? Because for sure you have to think about your future, and like, for how long can you keep doing it? Which career would you think is more fragile?
Neither of them are stable, that's for sure, but I think they're probably pretty similar. With YouTube, maybe there's this added element of having a lot of analytics very readily available to you. So maybe you can see when a certain type of content just isn't hitting like it used to. You can see what kind of trends are happening and what's popular on the rest of YouTube, and you can try to shift a little bit in that direction. But I guess having a music career is a little bit like that too. I mean, no artist is going to make the exact same album twice. They're always reinventing themselves and trying new things. Maybe that's a little bit less because of analytics and numbers that they're seeing, and more of like they're just doing what they want to do. But I think both of them require you to be alert and constantly evolving.
Okay. So, in the film industry, I would say that YouTubers are still looked down on because, you know, YouTube is just not the same as film industry, right? It's just such a low level. Is it the same in the music industry? Is starting a YouTube channel a good way of becoming a musician, or is being a YouTuber still kind of considered unprofessional in the music industry?
Good question. I think it's a double-edged sword. I feel like maybe the thing about being a YouTuber that would make people in the music industry take you less seriously is that you only do covers. Because what kind of music career are you going to have as solely a cover artist? I just really don't think, like, maybe if you were gonna get discovered as a big pop star and you only sing songs that other people wrote for you, but that really doesn't happen. Like, that's not gonna happen to you. And you need to be able to do more than one thing, more than just like sing and like dance and look good in a jumpsuit on stage, I think. And you have to know, like, the business side. You have to know a little bit about production or playing an instrument, or you have to write some songs. What was the question? I don't remember where I was going with that.
Would you say that being a YouTuber,
if people look down on you.
Isn't considered unprofessional in the music industry?
So, on the other hand, being a YouTuber probably means that you have a really strong social media following, and you have fans that subscribe to you on YouTube, follow you on Instagram, follow you on Twitter, like you on Facebook. Maybe they actually show up at your shows, they listen to your stuff on Spotify, you know, all of that stuff. And if you are a YouTuber, you have like a built-in audience that will listen to whatever you put on the channel. I mean, you have to be smart about what it is that you're putting on the channel so you don't lose them all. But what musician wouldn't want that? Usually when I work with musicians and producers in LA, some of them which have super incredible, respectable careers completely outside of YouTube, it's usually like said as a good thing, like, oh yeah, she has 200,000 subscribers on YouTube, and people are like, oh cool, what do you do?
So just again the question that will be that is the topic of this video. So would you say that that YouTube can be a career on its own, and if yes, in what cases?
I would say that being a YouTuber can be a career on its own, but I don't know much about other fields and other types of videos. I know that certain kinds of content definitely lend themselves to being more easily monetizable, and thus you making more money from them, so being easier to make a living with certain types of content. But the thing for me, which is probably just because I'm kind of a worrier, is diversifying the income streams. So for me, that looks like the YouTube AdSense, Patreon, and selling the covers on Bandcamp, occasionally working with sponsors. So that way it's a little bit less, it's a little bit more stable. It's like the breaking the cord of just like one line versus like the braided one. It's harder to break if they're all three intertwined together. So, you know, even if you lose one, like that cable is still gonna hold. If that explanation makes any sense.
Yes.
Okay.
No, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone is wanting to do YouTube as a career, I would hope that they have a lot of passion for whatever it is they're doing, and that like fun and enjoyment is a priority, because it is challenging, it's unpredictable, and it might not turn out how you want it to. So if the only thing motivating you is wanting fame or money, you might want to take another look at why you're choosing to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great advice. Okay, one quick and little stupid question. Would you rather have 10 million subscribers or win a Grammy Award?
I don't know. I think I would probably go for the 10 million.
Okay.
I, of course, I have to be careful about what I'm saying. I respect the Grammys and I respect those artists massively, but there are so many amazing independent artists outside of that scope of the ones that get nominated and win Grammys, that it doesn't mean, I guess it's not an end-all be-all winning a Grammy. Like, that's not the only way that you can measure success as a musician.
Okay. So it's more about the audience than the actual awards.
I would say so, yeah. And being realistic, honestly, I'm not sure that I would ever like get into those circles where I would find myself eligible for a Grammy, but that's okay with me. Like, I like being an independent artist and I like having control over everything that I do. To have 10 million subscribers would mean that there are 10 million people, more or less, that enjoy seeing what I do and probably listen to my music. And if that's the case, then why do I even need a record label? Like, why do I need a Grammy?
Okay. For how long do you think you will continue your channel?
Interesting question. Who knows what's going to happen with the future of music and the future of YouTube, but I hope to continue it for a long time, at the same time that I shift the focus more and more toward my original music. But like I said, I wouldn't still be doing the covers if I didn't have fun doing them, and I recognize that's right now what's paying my rent and letting me get to know musicians and producers in LA, and it's given me so many opportunities that I'm not eager to throw that away. I definitely want to show that audience how grateful I am by continuing to make content for them and to really like honor the origins of everything.
All right. So the last question. Probably by this point, a lot of viewers of this film is super interested in what you do, and probably they will subscribe to your channel, and probably they want to know what are your plans for the future. What are you planning in terms of your YouTube channel and also your music career?
Well, first of all, I do hope they check out my channel, because I imagine this interview would be pretty weird to watch if you have no idea like what the videos are like. You just have no idea what we're talking about. So at least watch one, just one.
And then you will get addicted.
What?
And then you will get addicted.
Yeah.
They want just one.
I'm not responsible for that. So my plans for the future are another EP of original music. I think gonna be 5 songs that are currently in production right now. So the songs are already written, but we're just working on getting a full band instrumentation, recording it in an amazing studio that's not my bedroom, and really just, I can do everything myself, but for the original music, I want it to be like top. So that's why I have amazing people that I'm working with to help me get it out there. And then hopefully along with that EP, a handful of new, real official music videos, and continuing to make covers on YouTube, and hopefully continuing to grow. And maybe one day playing live shows again, if it's safe.
Oh yeah.
Without a mask on, because I can't really, you have to be able to see my mouth probably, and there's just logistical issues that would come with me doing a concert with a mask. So I'll wait until it's safer, but I do hope that that's on the horizon somewhere.
Okay, I hope so too. Okay, I think that's all. So thank you so much for the interview. I'm so glad that we managed to do it, even though
Yes, me too.
even though the COVID and the difference of times and me moving to Poland against our odds. All right, so thank you again.
Thank you so much.
And
have
bye.
a good night.
Good night. No i to by było na tyle. Może nie było po mnie tego jakoś bardzo widać, ale naprawdę zdecydowanie zgadzałem się ze wszystkim, co Ann mówiła o realiach bycia youtuberem, o tym, jak ogromną pomocą jest Patronite. I byłem wręcz zdziwiony tym, ile doświadczeń i przemyśleń mamy takich samych na temat YouTube'a, mimo tego, jak różne są nasze kanały. Koniecznie zajrzyjcie na kanał Ann. Link do jej kanału znajdziecie oczywiście w opisie tego filmu. Gwarantuję wam, że uzależnicie się od jej filmików od razu. Mam nadzieję, że tym niesamowicie długim wywiadem udało nam się odpowiedzieć na pytanie zawarte w tytule, ale również poruszyć pełno innych ciekawych tematów. Oczywiście nie zrobiłem tego filmu z myślą o ogromnej ilości wyświetleń, bo domyślam się, że nikomu nie będzie się chciało oglądać tak długiego wywiadu. Po części zrobiłem to dla mojego patrona Maćka, ale przede wszystkim zrobiłem to dla siebie, bo chciałem się po prostu nauczyć czegoś nowego o tej jakże szybko rozwijającej się i zmieniającej się profesji, jaką jest bycie youtuberem. Powiedziałbym, że najważniejszą rzeczą, jaką się nauczyłem, jest to, że chcąc zostać youtuberem, powinieneś sobie najpierw zadać pytanie, dlaczego chcesz nim zostać. Bo jeśli chcesz po prostu być sławnym i zarabiać kasę, to niestety, ale możesz się mocno zawieść. Natomiast jeśli chcesz tworzyć content z czystej pasji i nie przeszkadza ci to, że ogląda cię może tylko garstka ludzi, bo ty czerpiesz radość z samego procesu tworzenia, to zdecydowanie jesteś na dobrej drodze. Liczba wyświetleń i popularność nie są indykacją wartości filmików. Wystarczy spojrzeć na mój kanał. Czy mój najbardziej znany, najpopularniejszy film na moim kanale o tym, jak ściąłem sobie dready, jest moim najlepszym filmem? Oczywiście, że nie. Jest beznadziejny. Czy włożyłem w niego najwięcej pracy? Nie. Czy jestem z niego najbardziej dumny? Też nie. Ten filmik nawet nie jest związany z tematyką mojego kanału. YouTube niestety ma to do siebie, że dobry content nie zawsze idzie w parze z popularnością. A to nauczyło mnie, że powinienem cieszyć się po prostu z tego, że zrobiłem dobry filmik, który mi się podoba i z którego może nawet ktoś wyciągnie jakąś wartość, a nie z tego, ile ma wyświetleń, jakie wyniki osiągnął na YouTubie. Czy to podejście zrobi z ciebie sławnego YouTubera? Nie wydaje mi się, ale czy zrobi z ciebie szczęśliwego YouTubera? No jest taka szansa.
It's your birthday, come to the kitchen. We're gonna sing now, so sit and listen. Oh wait, you're changing faces. I hope we get the nice version tonight. Tired of the mean one and I don't wanna fight. Everyone who's patient enough to put up with you is